What's up, everybody? Shauna D Man here, and welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys are doing great. Hope you guys are having yourselves a great week or weekend, depending on when you are watching this video. We are back to talk about some Halo because it has been some time since I did any kind of video talking about Halo. Now on the gaming channel, we've been playing Halo Infinite for the very first time, so that is something you guys can go and check out, either in the description or up in the card above. um and it's been a couple of years, at least up to this point, since season 2 of Halo the series. Now obviously, that series is canceled, with season 2 coming out in 2024, a little over 2 years ago. And right now it's probably going to just be in like a limbo state. I know there's been, I think, I don't know how factual it is, but I think there's like rumors of like Christopher Nolan wanted Halo, or J.J. Abrams wanted Halo, just some stuff like that. Now you can watch it on Paramount Plus. Was actually doing relatively well on Netflix. The last I looked into, I did a Halo video a while back talking about it, but it seemed to be doing, from a viewership standpoint, relatively good over on Netflix. Now the series was not, it was not a great series. There were a lot of things about it that weren't good, but there were also, I thought, some of the action sequences and stuff like that were actually really pretty good. The look of the Spartan armor, thought that was great. Although it is hard to really, it does look clunky when it comes to like trying to practically move it, because there are a lot of times where they had to, use CGI and stuff like that, and it may look a little clunky just because from a practical standpoint you can't really run in something like that. Um, the casting was what it was. But I mean, I can also like separate like this TV series from the main Halo timeline of games. I can separate those two. Those two are not intermingled. Just the same way you could probably say the J.J. Abrams Star Trek films are on the Kelvin timeline. They're not the Prime uh, Star Trek timeline like you have with the original series, the Next Generation, Voyager, Deep Space Nine. So a lot of people looked at the Halo series in that regard as this, as a branched off timeline. The Silver timeline, I think, is what most people um, would categorize that particular series. So what I wanted to do is just do a small little short little video, just talk about how I would handle Halo. And so let's say HBO Max or Netflix. No, let's say HBO. Let's just say HBO Max. Or Paramount Plus, whoever. Let's just say whoever came to me and they were like, "Hey, we want you to build a Halo universe. You're in charge. You can set it up how you want to do it. Cast. I won't really say casting because I'm not really going to go that far into something like that, but just generally what my idea of a Halo universe would particularly be. And so one of the things that I would do is we're gonna do TV shows, at least. I would probably do at least 10 to 12 episodes of certain TV series, depending on what they are. Because I feel like, well, I say that, but then like I don't want to have like filler episodes, if that makes sense either. So it's really hard to say. Let's just say 8 to 12. Ideally, from a TV show standpoint, of each season having that amount of episodes. So the series that we're gonna go into this a little bit. So the series that we're gonna talk about, they'll be on, obviously, on the streaming things, with the exception of the Prime Master Chief Halo stuff. That is going to be theatrical releases. So, like, for instance, like the first Halo game, let's just say that won't be on streaming till afterwards, obviously, but that will get a theatrical release. That will be a movie event for fans to go and enjoy at the theater. And then other stuff, there may be some other stuff in that regard, but a lot of it is just going to be on the streaming side of things, except for the Halo movies themselves. So, so first and foremost, let's talk about how we go about building this particular universe. So, one of the first things that I would personally want to do is not really do kind of not like a not a TV series, but do like a 40 minute to 60 minute special presentation to kick this off. And what I want that to be is something like, kind of like a recruitment type of video, like join the UNSC, join the Marines, join the Navy, maybe join ONI, stuff like that. Just kind of like as a recruitment type of video to introduce fans who are going to be watching this, this universe be built, to, get them accustomed to like, the world building. We're going to start world building with this first special presentation. Now, obviously, Halo is vast and expanded anyway with books and video games. But there might be some people who may not be interested in the books, or there might be people who now have not played the games. So this is going to be a good opportunity. Just a fun little video thing of just introducing people to this new world of Halo that we are building. So that'll be the first thing I do when it comes to a streaming standpoint, is doing a kind of special presentation, titled it, Halo UNSC, something like that. And its primary goal is to do act like a recruitment type of video, but also, learning about the UNSC and what they do. Even probably have some classified stuff involved, where like, oh hey, you can't know about that, or something like that. Small things like that, or even having in like little sprinkle in small things of the upcoming, like, war with insurrectionists and stuff like that. We're not really going to introduce the Covenant just yet. So that's going to be like this first presentation, is that. So the first full length season of a series that I would do is a Halo ODST style of series. Something like a Band of Brothers type of series. What I would do is have 3 seasons of this particular show. And what I want to do is season 1 would take place at the beginning of the Human Covenant War. So definitely things like, maybe there's some people who were involved, that did like little recruitment things in the special presentation that's going to translate over into the first ODST series. And again, I want this first season to just focus on, building up the ODST, like kind of like how they're legends in some cases, what they do and things like that. And us slowly getting more and more as the series goes on, with getting involved with the human insurrectionist war. I know it's probably not what it's properly called, but a lot of you probably know what I'm talking about. I will probably keep that small too, like from a cast standpoint. I will maybe do like a squad of, I think 6 would be fine. Six main characters. I think that could be fine. I teetered with the idea of 4 and 6 main characters for the series. Um, and so the end of the first season is, I kind of want that to be like, because I want to set the stakes. And so the end of the first season of the Halo ODST series that I would do is going to be the introduction, or at least their first encounter with the Covenant. And I kind of personally saying I would wipe out all the main characters. Mm, maybe we'll leave one alive, but majority I would wipe out a lot of the main characters in this first season when they first encounter the the Covenant. Um, that's to me. That just, I feel like that just sets the stakes at a high level for something like that, and I think it just hey, this is a serious thing right here. Um, so and that's kind of where season one will end. Kind of like now the Covenant is here. Now throughout the first season of the ODST series, we're gonna have like little moments and um, audio files, small things like that that indicate there's something bigger going on that is being covered up. You kind of saw a little bit of it in Halo Forward Until Dawn, where you had Lasky, his brother was in not an ODST, but he was a Marine and he died, and I forgot one of the other cadets' names. I think it was like his roommate, but they were able to hack into or get their hands on some classified video footage, which showed not only like Marines and insurgents fighting together, but obviously you see that there was a Spartan there. You can also see the energy sword of a Covenant elite in the image within the visor of the Spartan. So I would have stuff like that. I would have like little things like that spread out throughout the episode to like keep the fans engaged and knowing that, oh, they're starting to slowly encounter the Covenant and things like that. Season two of this series is going to be. You know what? We'll do that in a second. Let's just do like a little timeline thing. So, as we look at like the timeline of things, got the Halo special to kick off the universe. First season of Halo ODST. The second thing that's going to be introduced is another special presentation. Let's title it UNSC Spartan. And what this would be is like a 30-40 minute another presentation, primarily introducing the Spartan program. Now you're not going to see Master Chief. I'm not going to put Master Chief in here. If I were to do it, I would probably do it in such a way where he's in the background, like maybe there's like Spartan young Spartan cadets doing like video interviews or something like that, like daily video journals or whatever, and then in the background you consistently see a specific character, like a specific like Spartan or whatever, not in the armor, but just like you can definitely tell this is the same person throughout each of these frames and stuff like that. I probably would keep it like that, not really show who he is, but that's the thing about when it comes to Halo, is people don't like the helmet coming off, even though he did take it off in a small occasions, but like not to the extent of what happened in the Halo series on Paramount Plus. So I would just keep it very vague, put him in the background, and let people know, oh, he is there. Um, so another thing I'll actually do in that regard when it comes to doing this Halo Spartan, I guess I can't think of a proper title, how I want to call it, um, is I would actually bring back, let's see if I can find her. Um, where is she at? Where is she at? She played Catherine Halsey in the series, in the Halo series. Let's just do it this way. Ah, that's bright. Good lord, I hate that. Where is she at? Yeah, so it should be. Ooh, how do I pronounce that name? Natasha McElhone, if that's how you pronounce it. I actually thought she played a relatively good Dr. Halsey. Now she was a lot younger compared to what Dr. Halsey is, and maybe in the books or the video games, which I'm not opposed to. That wouldn't really bother me that much, but I would actually bring her back to play Dr. Halsey in this situation. I thought she was good, um, a pretty good character as well. So again, this show, Halo Spartan, would just primarily be about the Spartan program. Um, the training, what Halsey does in regards to making the first set of Spartans and stuff like that. So that'll be that. All right. So updated timeline. We got Halo UNSC, the first season of Halo ODST, another Halo Spartan special presentation, and then we're gonna go into uh, Halo Reach. We're gonna do a Halo Reach series. Now, this is gonna take place over the expand of, I think the video game does a relatively good job, but obviously the books, there's a lot more detail and stuff like that. I don't want to be too convoluted with the story, so I would definitely akin it to more of what goes on in the video game, Halo Reach video game, compared to mainly anything else. But we are going to add things from the source material of the book as well. So that's going to be that. Obviously, everybody should know what Halo Reach is. It's the Fall of Reach, the Covenant, quite covertly, I guess if you want to say, invade and take, assault the planet and stuff like that. So that's pretty straightforward. So that's a pretty straightforward thing. And then after the events of Halo Reach, we'll get our first full. So like at the end of the Halo Reach TV series, what I would do is basically introduce Master Chief. Towards the back end of the series, the first couple of episodes, I definitely want to focus on our main core Spartans, and then towards like maybe the last two, or even in the last episode, um, we see like uh, Master Chief in hibernation, and then we'll get our first theatrical release of the Halo set of movies. So the first Halo movie, that will be the first theatrical release. Prime Cortana, Prime Master Chief, movie right there. That's pretty straightforward. I shouldn't really have to go into detail about it. Obviously, you're probably gonna have to, you're definitely have to cut some stuff out of like the books and movies, not books, movies, but the books um, and the video game to condense it. From a runtime perspective, I would probably try to put this at least to get my most bang for the buck and make sure the audience feels they are getting they're getting satisfied with what they're seeing. I would at least shoot for 2.5 hours. Like maybe a 2 hour, 30, 45 minute type of video. So there are some stuff we're gonna have to cut out in order to um make that work per se. But that's going to be pretty straightforward. So then after the theatrical Halo movie, we're going to go into um, this one's not necessarily tricky, but I'm trying to figure out how I want to do it, because I actually want to do a Halo Covenant series. Um, and like that way we can kind of like get introduced, or at least get the perspective of the arbiter. Well, no, he was on this. Well, hmm. Because I don't want to go back to back with movie, if that makes sense. Um, I could, I could do that, but I don't really want to do that. But I think I would probably, because I'm not, I don't want to do a season two of the Halo ODST just yet, because I kind of want to do that around the same time we release the second theatrical Halo 2 movie. Um, that's the hard. It's kind of the hard part. I'm like trying to figure out is like where I want to place things. I mean, we could go from Halo 1 to Halo 2, and then do the second season of Halo ODST series after after the Halo 2 movie, and then we'll go into the Halo 3, And then this is also where we'll go into the final season of the Halo OTST series, because as far as the ODST series goes, what I want to do with it is have it first season cover the beginning of the Human Covenant War, have the middle during the war, and then the third season be the towards the end of the war, and that will lead into Halo 3, that type of thing. And so that's kind of how I would do it. There is an option of trying to figure out how to do maybe like a Halo Wars type of series. Um, that is something we could do. So that could be something that we could place in between, like timeline wise. Let me bring up this real quick. Because timeline wise, we would probably have to maybe adjust some things. Um, let's see where to go. It should be chronological order. Yeah, so like for instance, you have Halo Wars. So if the chronological order of when it comes to the video games is Halo Wars, Halo Reach, Combat Evolved, Halo 2, Halo 3 ODST. But I just mentioned what I want to do with the ODST thing. It's going to be 3 seasons, so we could mix and match. So I guess in reality, what we could end up doing is we could make the timeline like this, where we have the presentation being the first entry into this Halo universe. The Halo ODST season 1 that will cover the human insurrection kind of war leading into the human covenant war. Then we could do a Halo Wars type of, or actually, we probably do like a Halo Wars type of series. We could scrap the Halo Spartan thing, although I may keep that and just, if I keep it, it's gonna have to be placed in between the season 1 of ODST and the Halo War series. We could make that work. It, we could make that work. It would be interesting to see. Um, and then, yeah, I guess I guess we could do that. Yeah, because I mean, it's only gonna be a special presentation, so I could release some stuff when it's in the same year, but I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. But yeah, because you have like Halo Wars and then Halo Reach, that kind of stuff. So that's kind of like where I would start going with this. The hard part is figure out where I want it to end. Like in this series, what's the cutoff for this series? It's not going to be a series that's going to last. It's not going to be a Marvel Cinematic Universe. I think a maybe 5 to 10 year plan for this series, for this particular kind of universe, would be fine. I think. Probably what I would do to like in the universe, in the Halo universe, would be kind of like leave it ambiguous. Let's say we do Halo 3. Now obviously I know there's Halo 4, Halo 5, Halo Infinite. I know those are there, but a lot of people, you know, that's 343 Industries. So technically what we could do is like leave it off how it is in Halo 3. You know, Chief, saves the day, goes into hibernation, and it's up for debate on whether or not we'll see Master Chief again or something like that. It's something along those lines. But that's just a general idea I thought about when it came to like making this type of video. Like, how would I do something like that? Um, Definitely, I would love to have the voice actors for Master Chief and Cortana, but I also, in the back of my mind, have to be prepared to pivot and maybe bring on somebody else to do those roles if they, get too old, or something happens and things like that. So I need to be prepared to pivot in a situation like that. But yeah, guys, that's just my thoughts on it. I would love to hear your guys' thoughts on how you would do a Halo universe if you were put in charge of building one. I very much like to hear your ideas. And then just tell me what you think. But guys, that is basically it. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you guys for watching. Hit that like and subscribe button. Comment below. Other than that, I will see you guys in the next video. Y'all have a good one.